Hey everybody, I am Aramar. This is my friend Heather, and this is the second of our International Batman Day vlogs.
Woo!
And we just finished watching, for the first time in a long time, Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the collection was called. It's the collection that came between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. It's a bunch of like little vignettes, all of them animated.
Yeah, and again, some people were like, "Oh, it's technically canon. It's between the two." I'm like, not really, because a lot of stuff in the Dark Knight Rises contradicts the animated ones. Personally, I kind of like it being its own thing because I love this collection of cartoons. I love it. Animations.
Yeah, I love how they're all different styles too, and it all blends together nicely. I mean, the first section, Have I Got a Story for You?
My favorite out of all of them. Not gonna lie.
It is fun. It goes in sort of reverse chronological order as these kids are telling like tall tales of their encounters with Batman, including one being like, "Oh, and then he totally cut the guy's head off."
And the others are like, "He don't kill." And she's like, "Yeah, well, I made it more colorful."
I was making it more colorful and stuff. It was like one was like, "Oh, he's a living shadow," and then the girl was like, "Nah, he's a creature, like this living bat thing." And the other kid's like, "Nah, he's a robot."
Robo-Batman.
Like, it was so awesome.
It's
like,
so good. And you get these wonderful kids, and it's always nice to see Batman interacting with these kind of street kids, because again, people are like, "Oh, those are his future victims." Like, no, Batman always tries to help those kids, so it's really cool to see this from their point of view.
Totally. And it's like, it's just a fun little story, and one of the kids even saves him at the end, so it's kind of like, okay, that's a cool moment. And the next one, Crossfire.
Yeah.
You get the cops you get these cops from the MCU that one of them hates him, the other one's trying to argue for Batman. They get caught in the crossfire.
Between these two gangs.
They stop to argue in the worst place possible. The two gangs just pull up on either side of the thing they're parked in the middle of and just open fire.
It's like, oh. Well, the one guy's like, shh. She's like, "No, I won't." She's like, "No, seriously. Gangs. Shush."
They're right there. They're like calling on the radio being like, "We need backup now." Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and it's kind of neat throughout these animation ones. You kind of get an overall story. Do they all, per se connect? No, but there are little hints that connect them, like these two recurring officers. They are in the other ones. And yes, you see kind of a character switch in some of them, because the one that hated Batman is later working with him in another one. So it's really cool to see just the continuation of them.
Yeah, it is really fun there. And then there is the next one we got is in Darkness Dwells. We get Killer Croc. We get that really cool Scarecrow you like.
Just his outfit with the extra arms, like, ugh.
That is really cool. And Killer Croc, like, while he's a bit more stylized in this version, he does still look quite cool. And then, like, the other half, there's actually two halves in that one, where it's like, the first half is him dealing with Scarecrow and Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Oh, and, sorry, I dropped something. And then the next half is him doing some training back in, like, what was it, like India or something?
It looked like India. Yeah, again, they never quite say, but they hint at with the people and with the religion, or the... It's not Buddha, but it's a type of religious kind of honing your senses that he wants to train.
And, like, dealing with pain, etc. And the leaders turned down teaching him because he was dishonest about what he wants to do with it. And then this other lady teaches him, trying to, like, help him with his things, but she knows he's bullshitting her too.
Yeah,
she's a little more honest, but not like but she thinks she can help. Ends up not helping very well, but you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, she when she turns away, she says, "No, I'm not saying that you did wrong. I'm saying I did wrong because I'm unable to help you get over your pain." And that's the thing is the whole physical pain versus mental and emotional pain. Because she's pointing out, "I helped you deal with this physical pain, but I wanted to help you get over the emotional pain, so you wouldn't do this." And he goes and does this. It's a really well done story, and it ends with him finding like all these guns that were thrown into the sewer with the garbage, and he's just standing there like with arms full of guns. Like, it's a really powerful image. Yeah, and he's like realizes like, shit, all these guns have been discarded into the sewer. Like, how much pain and misery and blah blah. Yeah, and so it's just really neat to see the continuation, because
we skipped one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you did.
Sorry, we skipped one. Yeah, before in Darkness Dwells, there's Field Test.
Yeah,
be she Batman.
Sorry, my roommate loved this one because it gets to it. She's like, "Whoa, this is like, Batman the anime." I'm like, "Yeah," and then she sees Bruce. She goes, "Bishy Batman." I'm like, "Yep." And then later there's like a bad guy. She's like, "The Bishy bad guy." Like all the other dudes are like, "Oh, kind of ugly anime." And then there's that one blonde Bishy. And then he's the one that Batman has to save. I'm like, nope.
Yep, it is fun. It's kind of a fun little story where Lucius basically invents this like bulletproof thing that Batman can wear.
It's all like these
it's like this like EMP pulse.
Yeah,
thing
magnetics kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, It's got science stuff. If you guys know it. It's
but
fine.
it ricochets one of them, and
The Bishi.
like it hits the Bishi guy. And Batman's like, nah, if I'm out there, I want to be only risking my life. And
yeah, so it's a really cool character moment.
Yeah, it was good. The thing I find hilarious is that I'm just like, Bruce, what about all the times you've jumped out of bullets' ways and like not like you? Admittedly, there are plenty of times where it's shown that Batman is completely aware of who or what is behind him.
Yeah.
But still, it is kind of it's a fun little moment there.
There's a lot of Batmans that don't seem to give a shit if somebody else gets shot, whereas this one's like, nah, even if it's the bad guy, I don't want him getting shot and possibly dying. So, and that goes back to what Batman should be. It should be him caring about not killing anybody.
Yeah.
So again, some verses will just be like, no, they're criminals, it's okay if they're slightly hospitalized. I'm like, no, to me, Batman would be like...
I don't mind it when, like, okay, I don't mind versions of him where he hospitalizes them, where, like, he'll break an arm, or he'll, like,
but not,
break
like,
some ribs, but...
He cares that they're not going to die from it. Like, he's not like, no, I'm not going to kill people.
Yeah,
so,
half the time it's like he wants to put them in hospital long enough for them to think about it.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was a neat one. Which is the next one, though?
Okay, we did In Darkness Dwells because I'm an idiot.
It's good. That's a good one. So.
And then Working Through Pain was a separate one.
Okay.
Sorry, I have
There's
a little
a
list here
lot
to
of
remind
them.
me of the sections, but they blend together so well at times that it is kind of hard to notice the difference.
Yeah, so
between
sorry,
them.
the Working Through the Pain is the one with him in India, and so it's a separate one.
Yeah, but it flows directly from the previous one.
Yeah, because
So the segments really do blend well together. They're...
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's like, In the Darkness Dwells and Working Through the Pain felt like one segment to me, because they kind of...
Yeah, and it's in a
right
good way.
together. Yeah, and his injuries from In Darkness Dwells were what kind of led into the dealing with the pain one.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this neat little moment of, yeah, this is how he's dealt with pain. Because he says, I can handle pain. Because I think it's Gordon who says, are you feeling pain? Because he mentioned that Croc bit him, and Gordon goes, are you hurt? And he's like, I can deal with pain. And just bam!
Yeah, and it kind of feels like he's thinking back... The segment feels like he's thinking back on his memories to deal with the pain of his injuries. To sort of, like,
so that's why they kind of
keep his mind distracted.
So it's a really neat moment.
And the final segment, Deadshot. Oh, he is awesome.
Yes, and he's kind of a nice one for Batman because Batman's hate of guns. So it's a really neat segment because it starts off with Batman talking about how I can understand the appeal of guns. And that, again, the guns he
found...
found...
with Deadshot doing an assassination at the same time.
Yeah.
And all the guns he found are in this, like, bag, and Alfred's like, will you please do something about your gun collection, sir?
I keep tripping on it. It's just like, oh, Alfred. So yeah, it's a neat little minute where Batman goes, yeah, guns, I understand my enemy, and I understand their appeal for guns. Yeah. So
that's why, like, some people have said, it's like, oh, no, Batman has to be completely anti-gun, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I like the versions of Batman where he knows guns. Mm-hmm. He studied them. He knows how to use them, how they work. Yeah,
some people are like, oh, Batman wouldn't know how to use a gun. I'm like, yeah, he would, so that he knows how to disarm a gun.
Exactly. So, like, there's a comic I have where he was training one of the Robins. I think it was Tim, and like he raised that question. It's like, wait, I know you don't use guns. You're completely against guns. So why do you want me to learn how to, like, shoot and clean and, like, do all this stuff with these guns? And it's like, we have to know them even better than the people who rely on them for strength.
Exactly.
We have to know how they work, how to disable them, and how, like, basically everything about them so that when you're dealing with them, you can minimize the damage to people around you as much as possible.
And again, it just makes sense. Like, if you're going to fight another sword fighter, even if you're not a sword fighter, you want to know how a sword fighter will fight. So know your enemy, know their weapons, stuff like that.
And I do like that part of the instruction includes how to throw guns.
Yeah.
Because Batman.
But yeah, it's just a really neat little one. Again, it kind of shows a wimpy Deadshot near the end there when he's like, the Russians made me do it. I'm like, but at the same time, this is a Batman one, not a Deadshot one. So it's nice to see Batman's
they're on top of a train and Batman's hanging him off the side. And
where it's like, there's this weird little L shape that his head conveniently goes through every time. I'm like, man, you off by inches, Batman, and you'd like knock out his brains.
Batman might have been using that to his advantage, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just the fact that, whoa.
Little close there. But yeah, overall, this is a great compilation.
Oh, it is.
Really loved it, and it did a good job. Like, yeah, it's a little weird to like try to place it in one continuity or the other, but
and people
really,
going, oh,
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and people are like complaining, oh, it's all the different styles. I don't know, I kind of liked it, because again, it's different stories, so there's different styles, so...
And it was kind of fun seeing some of the new things, like the anime Batman. Like, that costume was actually a DLC for Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it's
awesome. And yeah, thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.